We're now about to start the first section judging of the Eukanuba World Challenge, where all the finalists have been split into 4 randomly drawn sections. Sections 1, 2, 3 and 4. And all these dogs are coming into the ring together before being broken up into their sections, which will be judged by 4 different judges, and they are then going to make a selection of 3 dogs. They're going to do this in their head this afternoon, but none of us are going to know which 3 they're liking. So, okay, we start off with this is now section 1. And the judge for section 1 is Barbara Müller from Switzerland. Barbara grew up surrounded by her family's Newfoundlands and German Shepherd dogs. And dogs have very much played a large part in her life ever since. The breeds she's successfully bred include English Cocker Spaniels, Old English Sheepdogs and Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. She is primarily thought of course, as an Old English Sheepdog breeder with a very famous kennel. She was first approved to judge by the Swiss Kennel Club in 1980 and is qualified to judge all breeds in groups 1, 2, 6, 8 and 9 under the FCI rules and regulations. So first out we have the Portuguese Water Dog, who is representing Portugal. This dog is Way to Glow da Pedra da Anisha, known at home as Glow. This is a 3.5-year-old Portuguese water dog male. The handler is Marta Flores Ribeiro, and the dog is owned by Isabel Santos, who is also the breeder. This dog is a world winner, European winner, was best in show at the Portuguese Dog of the Year, is a Swedish champion and a Finnish champion, and was actually best in show at the Eukanuba Winners' Show in Portugal. It's very appropriate that Portugal should be represented by one of its national breeds. Portuguese Water Dog underwent something of a revival a few decades ago, thanks to a group of dedicated Portuguese enthusiasts. The next dog out is the Siberian Husky, and this Siberian is representing Japan. The dog's name is Masanga JP Sky Blue, not surprisingly known at home as Sky. This is a male, being handled by Katsuyoshi Kanizuka. He's 4 years of age, and Katsuyoshi is also the owner and breeder. He won Best in Show at the FCI show in Tokyo last year under Canada's Jim Reynolds, and has had many more Best in Show wins to his credit. The Siberian is certainly one of the success stories of modern dogdom. Okay. I have absolutely no information on this Sholo. No, on the Sholo. Nothing. This is the Mexican dog.
Oh, right, because it's, yeah.
Okay, now this is where commentators have to think on their feet. This actually should have been an Alaskan Malamute representing Mexico, but we heard at the last minute that the Malamute unfortunately suffered a broken leg, and so its place has been taken by this Sholo Squintly, who's representing Mexico. I have no information on the Sholo other than it's representing Mexico.
I have some information on the...
This is the Hungarian Puli representing Australia. Australian Grand Champion and American Champion Cordmaker Field of Dreams, known at home as Conrad. Linda Pitts is the handler of this 7.5-year-old Puli male, who is owned by Sue Hubner, Jackie Baudons and Amy Peterson. Conrad was bred by Anne Quigley, Pat Turner and Steve and Alice Lawrence, and amongst many successes are 2 consecutive Westminster Kennel Club group wins. Also, the Puli has won 65 all-breed bests in show. On the table now we have the Basenji representing Germany. This is champion Sequest's Echo of El Dorado, a 6-year-old male. The handler is owner Noel Barsa, but the dog himself was actually born in the USA, bred by Pam Joffroy and Leila Lund. It's very interesting that Noel has never previously been to the USA, whereas Echo is making a return visit for the first time to the country of his birth. He's an American champion, an international FCI champion, Luxembourg, Sweden and German champion. That's the German Basenji champion Sequest's Echo of El Dorado. We now have another table breed from the Netherlands, the Beagle Ayers Rock from Ellie's pack. This 4-year-old male is being handled by his owner breeder, Ellie Vervoort. In the Netherlands, he was Dog of the Year in 2009, Reserve Dog of the Year in 2010, Dutch, Luxembourg, Danish and international champion, and was Beagle of the Year in 2009, 2010, 2011. And last year I remember watching him win Reserve Best in Show at the Amsterdam Winners' Show, probably the most prestigious show in that country. That's the Beagle Ayers Rock from Ellie's pack. Next out is the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. New Zealand Grand Champion Rojimi Popgun, otherwise known as Eddie. He's being handled by Stephen Meredith, who is actually a fellow Welshman who left Wales 33 years ago, but I can assure you he still has a Welsh accent. This is a 3-year-old male bred by Stephen and Gay Meredith and owned by Shirley New. Owned and bred in New Zealand. He's actually won 10 Best in Show at all breed shows, which is a record for Staffordshire Bull Terriers in New Zealand. And I dare say it may well be a record for Staffordshires around the world. Another table dog now. We have the Smooth Fox Terrier. This is Grand Champion, Singapore, American and Asian Champion, Sunlin Fortune Hunter, known at home as Texas. Representing Singapore, the handler is owner Su Lin Tong. It's a 4.5-year-old male who was bred by Steve and Evelyn Laughlin. Was imported from the United States of America and is now an international champion with multiple bests in show in Singapore. The next dog on the table is representing the Czech Republic, and this is a Maltese male, 3.5 years of age, and this is White Richelieu Rio. Representing the Czech Republic, the owner is Monika Kupikova, who is also handling. This little Maltese was bred here in the USA by Pat Keane. He's an American champion, a Gibraltar champion, and was actually best of breed at the Eukanuba American Kennel Club National last year when it was held in Long Beach. So the Czech Republic's representative there, White Richelieu Rio. And another table dog. This is a white toy poodle representing the FCI Asia qualifying round, and he comes from Japan, and this is Smash JP Moonwalk, a 5-year-old toy poodle being handled by Toshinori Omura and bred by Yukiko Omura. What would a Eukanuba World Challenge be without a smash toy poodle? We've seen so many of them here over the years. In 2007 and 2010, Best in Show at the World Show went to Smash JP Talkabout, who is the sire of Walker. Walker himself has won 53 all-breed Best in Show in the States when he was being campaigned over here, and he's now back home in Japan. We now have a Shih Tzu from Malaysia. This is Laverne Hearty Dance With Me, a 5-year-old male known at home as Andy, and being handled by breeder Agus Rianto, who co-owns the dog with Ling Xiang Kwong. He is an international champion. He has won his way into the Malaysian Hall of Fame. He's a Malaysian Grand Champion and Indonesian Champion. He also has his title in Thailand. Agus has been breeding Shih Tzu since 2003 with many title holders, including last year's Dog of the Year in Indonesia. This is actually his first time showing in the USA. So that actually was the last of the finalists in Section 1. So Barbara Miller, a very experienced judge, is now taking a final look down the lineup, studying heads, expressions, outline, and she's now faced with the unenviable task of selecting 3 dogs to go forward to the final competition tomorrow. But as I mentioned earlier, her selection will not be made public until we move over to the big ring later this evening, when from these dogs the identity of the successful 3 will be made known. So once more around with the 12 finalists. I'm sorry, folks, but we have tried desperately to get some information on the Xolos Quintly representing Mexico, but as yet nothing's forthcoming. If I get some information, I'll be sure to share it with you. So there you are. That's Barbara Miller's first section. And we're very swiftly, I think, going to move on to the second section. So in comes section 2. And the judge for section 2 is C.V. Sudasan, who's come from India. C.V. began in the sport of purebred dogs over 35 years ago, exhibiting and breeding pugs, dachshunds and beagles. He's since bred and exhibited successfully in a number of other breeds and is currently committed to his Dobermans, Whippets and pugs under the Magic Million kennel name. His kennel has in the past produced 3 Dogs of the Year, 2 Reserve Dogs of the Year, and 2 Dogs of the Year bred in India. His dogs have also won Puppy of the Year, and he's been awarded Breeder of the Year. He holds the distinction of being the first and only exhibitor in India to have won all 5 major trophies instituted by the Kennel Club of India. An FCI All-Breed International judge since 1984. He is judged at every show of all the registered clubs in India and many prestigious shows across all 5 continents. So, the first dog out for the individual hands-on is Austria's representative. No. That was the Denmark representative. That was the Akita Senseo It Feels So Right Matrix, with Anders Johansson handling. All these are coming in the wrong order. The Bull Mastiff is the qualifier from one of the European semi-finals. This is Bullstock's Adonis de Molossos. The Bull Mastiff being handled by Fabrizio Mani. Fabrizio comes from Italy, but the dog himself, Adonis, lives in Cyprus. He was, however, bred in Canada. Owned by Valentinos Panagi, the winner of 20 CACIBs, 19 CACs, and 8 times best in show all breeds. From Switzerland, we have the Saluki bitch. This is Maharmati, Ma Sondore Doran, shown by Christoph Witwer. Bred by Helena and Paul Thum. Christopher is the owner of this 4.5-year-old, who is a junior world winner, the world winner, a Swiss champion, and an international champion. The Saluki bitch representing Switzerland. From Italy, we have the Bracco Italiano Ribot. This is a 3-year-old male being handled by Francesco Vassanella for owner Paolo Codelupi. Ribot was bred by Samantha Mantovani. Is a world winner, an international champion, an Italian champion, and the European junior winner. An Italian native breed representing Italy, the Bracco Italiano Ribot. Representing South Korea, we have this American Akita bitch, Red Witch Don't Think Twice, otherwise known as Susie. She's 2.5 years of age, is owned by Sang-Fil Wang, and was bred in the UK by Dave and Jenny Killelea of the world famous Red Witch Akita Kennel. She is a world winner, an international champion, and a multiple best in show winner. Representing South Korea, the American Akita bitch, Red Witch Don't Think Twice. Can you go over there and ask them why the fuck all these dogs are coming in the wrong order? On the table now we have Hungary's representative. This is Atisha's Blanc de Noir, otherwise known as Picasso. A 6-year-old Tibetan Terrier being handled by Zsolt Hanno, living in Hungary but bred in the USA by Cheryl Rutledge Schultis. Picasso is owned by Eva Fujasheri. He's a multiple best in show winner, the world winner in 2010, was also best of breed at one of the shows run around the AKC National Championship in California last year. He's had 33 best in show wins in under 2 years in 12 different countries. Representing Hungary, the Tibetan Terrier Atishas Blanc de Noir. We now come to another of the qualifiers from the European section semi-final. This is the Kerry Blue Terrier Rolex Superhero, who actually lives in Croatia but was bred in Sweden. He was bred by Charlotte Mellin. He's being handled by Ante Lucin, and his owners are Igor Miosh and Ivana Bilic. And I know for a fact that they are glued to the screen as we speak. So hello to Igor and Ivana. Vigo, as he's known at home, has won many best in shows at premier shows all over Europe. He was the world winner this year, also the European winner, and the champion at the FCI Centenary Show, with a selection of best in show wins to his credit. The Kerry Blue from Croatia, Rolex Superhero.
He apologises. He said that order is for tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, well,
and they're judging the dogs, so they're putting the dogs in by speed.
yeah, well, I am not amused.
No, I have already.
On the table now we have the Lhasa Apso from Finland, Shikswa Adrenaline Rush, otherwise known as Ross, being handled by breeder Juha Kares, who co-owns him with Nina Titinen. He was Dog of the Year in Finland in 2009 and also this year, 2011. He's now 5 years of age. Juha, of course, is an extremely successful breeder, not only of Lhasas but various other breeds. And dogs bred by him have actually won more than 300 all-breed best in shows in 25 countries, which is an amazing record. From Austria, we have the Skye Terrier. This is Skyomania's Jonquil. Jonky is 2.5 years of age and is being handled by owner-breeder Otto Kchal. Just 2.5 years of age. But Otto has been breeding Skye Terriers for many years, and this is actually, this dog represents 5 generations of his own breeding. And an ancestor of this dog actually won best in show at the very special Skye Terrier Club Specialty, which is held actually on the Isle of Skye. This was back in 2006 when there were over 100 Skye Terriers went off to the Isle of Skye. But Jonky is a European junior winner, multiple group winner, and Otto actually won best of breed at Crufts with this dog's uncle in 2006. Now we have the United Kingdom's representative. This is another Lhasa Apso, a 6-year-old bitch, Zentar Elizabeth. Like many of the dogs in today's competition, She's being owner handled and is owner bred. Elizabeth has had an illustrious career in the UK, winning second in the group at Crufts in 2011. She's also won Best in Show at the British Utility Breed Show in 2009. And actually Margaret has previously won a group with a champion Pomeranian who also won Best of Breed at Crufts. But this is Zentar Elizabeth, who qualified to be here by winning the finals of the Eukanuba Champion Stakes, which are held throughout the year at the 26 General Championship shows in the UK. This is completely fucked it up. I'm just telling them that. I hope they know that. I hope they realise that. Have they got a list of the order over there?
I'll go and ask.
Tell them I want a list of the order because this is not funny. So our judge C.B. Sudasan having a final glance down the lineup. I'm sure we'll probably see the dogs going around maybe once or twice more. We have two Akitas here. We have two Larsas here. The Bull Mastiff, the Saluki, the Bracco Italiano, Tibetan Terrier, the Kerry Blue, the Skye Terrier. So they're going around, led off by the Danish Akita, Senseo, It Feels So Right, followed by the Bull Mastiff from Cyprus, the Saluki, the Bracco Italiano, the second Akita, the Tibetan Terrier, the Kerry Blue, the first of the two Larsas, the Skye, and our second Larsa. And out they go. That was section 2. I wonder which three Mr. Sudasan is going to point at this evening. Okay, so on with section 3. So the first dog in is the German Shepherd, then we have an Afghan Hound, a Borzoi, a Doberman, an Irish Setter, an Ibuthan Hound. We have the Boxer, the Smooth Fox Terrier, and a Falen. And to judge this section, we have Zena Thorne Andrews from the UK. Zena is arguably one of the most successful breeders of our age. Her interest in dogs started when she was a youngster growing up with the family's German Shepherds. But she got seriously interested in dog shows in 1967 when she purchased her first show dog, an Irish Wolfhound called Edgecroft Simon. He became a champion and went on to be top Irish Wolfhound for 4 years. In 1970, Zena introduced miniature wire-haired Dachshunds to her Drakesleet kennel, and since then she has broken every conceivable record. So the first dog out for the individual is the German Shepherd This is Zanta of Quantos. This is a 5-year-old bitch representing Norway. She's being handled by Tor Johansson, who is also her breeder and co-owner with his wife Inga-Lisa. Zanta is a champion in Latvia, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Luxembourg. She has a clutch of titles to her name, and incredibly she won Dog of the Year All Breeds in her native Norway in 2009, 2010 and 2011. That is the German Shepherd bitch from Norway, Zanta of Quantos.
It was Broxton that changed the order apparently, the speeds. But the order you have will be right for tonight.
Yeah, but
It's not an order then. I try to say it, but he's saying, I know it's a full late, but he's saying as they come in, can you, I said the paperwork's all out.
it's everything. I need a list for tonight.
I gave you there, yeah. It might have been in that file you moved.
Canada.
Yeah.
We now have the Canadian representative, a 5.5-year-old Afghan hound male. This is Michael Sikani of Procyon, known as Kiefer at home. Will Alexander is handling for owner Cheryl Wallach, and Cheryl is the breeder jointly with Fred and Lynn Hayward. Kiefer has won 59 Bests in Show. He won the Canadian Show of Shows this year, was #1 dog of all breeds in 2010, which surprisingly was the first time ever for an Afghan hound to actually be #1 all breeds. He's twice won the Canadian Afghan National. That's Michael Sikani of Procyon, the Canadian Afghan hound. Representing France, we have this 4-year-old male Borzoi. This is Chef d'oeuvre du Grand Fresnoy, known as Chef at home, and being handled here by Estelle Marc. The owner breeder is Marie-Hélène Combi. This is the top winning Borzoi in France. He's also ranked #5 all breeds and has his title in 10 countries. He's a Best in Show winner in several countries, including Gibraltar this year. The French Borzoi Chef d'oeuvre du Grand Fresnoy. This is a 6.5-year-old Doberman male, Alex de Akido San. And if some of you think you may recognize Alex, you could be right, because he actually won the Eukanuba World Challenge last year. And now he's back for a second bite at the cherry. He's being handled by Miguel Vera. He's owned by Andrea Laruccia, Carlos Soto, and Natalia Colombo. And Andrea Laruccia is the breeder. He is a grand champion of Argentina. He has titles in Brazil, the USA, Uruguay, Chile, Mexico, Peru, Guatemala. He is a Sicalam winner in Chile, and clearly he is owned and bred in Argentina. That's last year's overall winner, Alex de Akido San from Argentina. He actually qualified by winning the FCI America section. From Poland we have an Irish setter. This is Lofty Desperado, A 3.5-year-old male being handled by Eva Wojcik Maksimic. Eva is also the dog's breeder. He is an international show champion, the Polish club winner. He has his titles in Poland, the Ukraine, Romania, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Serbia and Croatia. Eva Wojcik Maksimic, owner, breeder, handler, and she's only been breeding Irish for 7 years. So she's already been extremely successful. Poland's representative, Lofty Desperado. From Puerto Rico, we have an Ibizan hound, Aram Ronigas, Kissed by a Rose. Kissy is a 3.5-year-old bitch being handled by Widali Negron. Bred by Arthur Lewis, Hau Nguyen and Michelle Paulin. Kissy is actually owned by Miguel Negron, Widali Negron, Joaquin Rosa, Luis Arazoga and Michelle Paulin. That's quite a syndicate. She's an international champion. She's a champion in the USA, of Latin America, a Pan-American champion, and obviously also Puerto Rico champion. This is her owner's only Ibizan, but she also has a Thai Ridgeback and French Bulldog. And now we come to the North America Eukanuba Breeders' Stakes champion, Briho's Shared Treasure. This was the bitch who didn't know she was going to the World Challenge until about half an hour ago. She's a 15-month-old boxer bitch, owned and handled by Terry Galley, and was bred jointly with Brenda Stuckey. She created an amazing record when she went best in show at just 10 months of age at an all-breed show. And she also won first in the futurity and first in her class at the ABC National Specialty, the American Boxer Club Specialty of 2011. Briho's Shared Treasure. On the table now we have a beagle representing Argentina, and this is Don Diablo Somerled de Suarias, known at home as Manolo. Alberto Ferrari is the handler, and this is a 2.5-year-old male owned by Juan Esteban Calea, Deborah Kirby and Philip Lipani. The breeder is Juan Esteban Calea. Manolo is #1 all breeds ranking in Argentina this year. He was winner's dog at the American Beagle National and 15 times has won best in show all breeds. His owner and breeder has been breeding beagles for 10 years. Argentina's representative, this is Don Diablo Somerled de Suarias. On the table now is the Smooth Fox Terrier. This is Jacoby Kimosabi Vigilante Justice, known as Dodger. Amy Booth is handling for Victor Malzoni, who co-owns him with Phil and Amy. Bred by William Dolling and Stacey Turner, Dodger was #1 dog all breeds in the United States of America for 2010. He's number 1 all breeds in Brazil 2011, and it won't surprise you to hear that he has won 184 bests in show. And clearly a lot of local support, local and vocal support by the Americans here in Orlando for the Smooth Fox Terrier, who was their number 1 all breeds last year. That's the Smooth Fox Terrier, Jacoby Kemosabe Vigilante Justice, Dodger the Smooth, who was Dog of the Year here in the US of A in 2010. And the last finalist on the table is the Phalène. As many of you will know, the Papillon breed in many countries is actually divided into 2 types. The upright ears, known as the Papillon, drop ears being known as the Phalène. And this Phalène is Magic Sunrise Great Gentleman, a 2.5-year-old male from Latvia, who was one of the European qualifiers in Paris, being handled by Andres Fremanis, owned by wife Ilza and bred by Julia Pavlova. 4 times an all-breed best in show winner with 11 specialty bests to his credit. He was best opposite sex at the World Show in Paris. This is the Phalène, or some of you might know the breed as the Continental Toy Spaniel, Magic Sunrise Great Gentleman.
Just so you know, there's 2 Salukis in the next section.
Eh?
2 Salukis, and I don't know which one's which.
Right, well I know which, the Swedish is the black and tan.
Okay.
The other one, the red one, will be the first one. The red one is South Africa. So Zena Thorne-Andrews now taking her finalists around the ring, getting a last look before she has some inner thoughts as to who will be her selected trio. Obviously, no doubt in the audience's mind here whether or not that coincides with Zena's opinion remains to be seen. So, section 4, our final section, comes in, led off with an Afghan hound, a Saluki, another Saluki, a Siberian Husky, a Newfoundland, another Newfoundland, an Australian Shepherd, a Chinese Shar-Pei, a Chow Chow, a Scottish Terrier. And we are now joined by the judge for this section, Tamas Yakel from Hungary. Tamas spent many years involved in the world of dogs, initially as a breeder and exhibitor of English Cocker Spaniels and smooth, standard and miniature Dachshunds. He has made up more than 150 FCI international champions, including many FCI World and FCI European winners. With much breeding and showing success to his credit, he started judging in 1984 and is now an FCI International All-Breed judge, having judged in over 50 countries and on 5 continents. The first dog for Thomas, for the individual hands-on, is the FCI European Section Show winner. This is a 5.5-year-old Afghan hound, Agajari's unplugged version, otherwise known as Colin. Owned, bred and handled by Stefan Boyek. Actually, Colin also has 2 co-owners, Rosemary Baus and Camilla Tell-Colling. Owned and bred in Germany. He has his Belgian title in addition to his German title. He's the Bundesliga winner and also European winner. From Germany, the Afghan hound Agajari's unplugged version. The first of our 2 Salukis is Roaring Water Storm Warning, representing South Africa. The handler is Nico Meyer. This is a 2.5-year-old male, owned by Elsa B. Becker and bred by Trevor Hiscock. He was the Kennel Union of South Africa National Hound in 2011. Was also Kuza's national dog in 2011. He's only actually been shown since March of this year, so has had quite a formidable amount of success in a very short time. Another Saluki, this time representing Sweden, but actually born in California. This is 5.5-year-old Shiraz California Dreaming, otherwise known as Harley. Some of you may recognize Harley because he's actually competed at the Eukanuba World Challenge 3 times consecutively. This is his 3rd time. He's being handled by Nicholas Eriksson, who owns him in partnership with wife Ingun. And he was bred by Michael and Elena Edwards and Valerie Nunes Atkinson. He's an international champion, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, Slovakian, Norwegian winner, and a multiple Best in Show winner. The Swedish representative, Shiraz California Dreaming. Representing Taiwan, we have a Siberian Husky. This is a 4-year-old bitch, champion Maisanga JP Sea Blue. Cici is actually the little sister to the other Siberian Husky we saw earlier, representing Japan, who is being handled by her breeder, Katsuyoshi Kanezuka. Cici's handler here is owner Tang Fu Lai. She's a multiple Best in Show winner, and her owner has just 4 dogs. Only one of them is this Siberian, the others being a Rottweiler, a Golden Retriever, and a Formosa dog. The Siberian Husky bitch, representing Taiwan, Maisanga JP Sea Blue. The first of our 2 Newfoundlands is representing Ireland. This is Fairweather's Knockout with Brooklyn Bear, being handled by Willie Dobbin, who owns him with wife Amanda and son William. Bred by Giorgio and Lodana Selina Borella. He was born in Switzerland, lives in Ireland, and last year actually came here to represent the United Kingdom. This year he's representing Ireland, where he actually lives. He's now won 36 challenge certificates in the UK, a vast number of working groups, and Willie has been involved with Newfoundlands now for more than 35 years, importing dogs from Italy, Denmark, the USA, and obviously Switzerland. Our next Newfoundland is representing Spain. This is Good as Gold An Malamual del Basaburwa, or Nacho, which is a lot easier to pronounce. A 6-year-old, he's being handled by Patricia Malara, who owns the dog with husband Angel Maestro. Patricia is also the breeder. He is a champion in 11 countries, including the USA. He actually finished his title in 4 days from the bred by class in 2009, which is an amazing achievement. He's now won 20 all breed bests in show, including the recent Jerez show. He was best of breed at the World Dog Show in Bratislava and also at the World Dog Show in Paris. Spain's representative, Good as Gold An Malumual del Basaburwa. This is the Australian Shepherd Reckon, otherwise known as Prop Wash Reckon. Born in the USA, being handled by Judy Harrington, and Judy actually owns the dog in partnership with breeder Leslie Frank. Now, Reckon was the overall winner of the American Kennel Club's National Championship show last year, which resulted in rather a nice check for $50,000. So I wonder what Reckon's chances are here in the Eukanuba World Challenge. He was campaigned for a year in Italy by Richard Hellman when he won the Italian National, and he's the #1 herding dog for 2010. That's Prop Wash Reckon. The Latin America qualifying Sharpei bitch comes from Peru and is Pulupa Meduluk, otherwise known as Coco. Owned by Ilaria Biondi de Chibati. She was actually bred in the UK by Paul Barmer. She's won 5 all breed bests in show, including Argentina, where the judge was Frank Sabella. Last year, she was best of winners at one of the shows held around the American Kennel Club National Championship weekend. She's a champion in Peru, Argentina, Guatemala, Mexico, and Uruguay. And Ilaria is actually Italian herself, but has lived in Peru for many years. Representing the Philippines, we have this Chow Chow male, the 3-year-old Aaron Hong's Red Passion. He's known as Campari at home. The handler is Michael Brantley. He was born in Brazil, but is obviously living in the Philippines. He has several owners: Pamela D, Adelpha Aguirre, Paolo Clarice, who is the breeder, Jermin Tan, and Frank Lau. His owners keep around 40 dogs, Chow Chows, Siberians, and also Beagles. and only started in dogs in 2008. So they've done very well in a short space of time. And last but not least, we come to the Russian representative. This is the Scottish Terrier Felicity Brush Celebration, Rico. A 4-year-old Scottish Terrier male, owned, bred and handled by Valentina Popova. Rico is an international champion. He's won 28 all-breed bests in show, which have been at shows with large entries all over Europe. Twice he was the world winner. He's also a champion in the United Kingdom, and he had the distinction of winning reserve best in show at Crufts, obviously the world's largest dog show, in 2010. Valentina has bred Scotties for 20 years. She keeps 10 dogs and they're all house pets. She's self-taught when it comes to trimming this breed, which requires very careful hand stripping. And this is actually the first time that she's showing in the USA, although she's certainly been to many other countries before with Rico. Felicity Brush Celebration. So now Thomas Jackal has the opportunity to have one more look at his finalists before he thinks about which of these 3 dogs he's going to pull into the center of that huge ring when we return later this evening. You just saw the Afghan moving. Now we have the South African Saluki, the Swedish Saluki, our Siberian bitch from Taiwan, Ireland's Newfoundland, Spain's Newfoundland, the USA's Australian Shepherd. What do you reckon? The Sharpe from Peru. The Brazilian bred Chow Chow from the Philippines. And the Russian Scottish Terrier. So, Section 4, they've completed the first stage of the competition. They're now leaving the ring. So I look forward to welcome you back later this evening when we're in that huge arena to witness the excitement that is the Eukanuba World Challenge 2011. I look forward to speaking to you soon.